Welcome back to the channel Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. Today we are counting down the top 5 Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coins from the United Kingdom that could be worth big money. If you enjoy coin collecting British coin values and searching your change for rare finds, make sure to watch until the end, and do not forget to subscribe, and comment below. Let's get started. First up, the Queen Elizabeth II new 50 pence coin 1980, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is an important and fascinating piece of modern British decimal coinage history, featuring the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, whose image appeared on British coins for decades, and whose reign represents one of the longest in world history. And this 1980 50 pence coin belongs to the original large 7-sided 50 pence series, introduced after decimalization and produced under the authority of the Royal Mint, and collectors admire this coin not only for its distinctive shape, but also for its strong connection to the early years of the decimal currency system in the United Kingdom, which replaced the old pound, shillings, and pence structure with a modern decimal format that changed everyday life for millions of people across the nation. The obverse of the 1980 50 pence coin features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and this elegant portrait was used on British coinage from 1968 until 1984, and it represents a youthful yet dignified image of the monarch during the early decades of her reign, and in uncirculated condition, the fine details of the hair, the tiara, and the facial features remain sharp and clearly defined, with original mint luster shining across the fields, which is highly desirable among collectors who seek coins that appear as they did when first struck at the Royal Mint facility. On the reverse, the 1980 50 pence displays the seated Britannia design created by Christopher Ironside, who was responsible for many of the original decimal coin reverses, and Britannia is shown holding a trident with a shield bearing the Union flag beside her, symbolizing maritime strength, national pride, and historical continuity. And this classic image has deep roots in British numismatic tradition dating back centuries, and in brilliant uncirculated condition, the flowing lines of Britannia and the crisp lettering of the denomination stand out beautifully, making this coin especially attractive when examined under proper lighting for educational or collecting purposes. The absence of a mint mark on the 1980 50 pence coin is completely normal, because circulating British coins of that era did not carry mint marks, and therefore collectors should understand that no mint mark does not indicate rarity in this case, and instead attention should be focused on condition, surface preservation, and authenticity, because many examples entered heavy circulation during the 1980s and show scratches, edge knocks, and wear, while a true uncirculated example retains full original brilliance, no wear on high points and sharp reeded edges along its distinctive heptagonal shape. In terms of mintage, the 1980 50 pence had a substantial production, as it was intended for everyday use in shops, markets, and businesses throughout the United Kingdom. And while millions were struck, far fewer survive today in pristine, uncirculated condition outside official mint sets, which increases collector interest, because condition rarity often plays a greater role than total mintage numbers, and coins preserved in Royal Mint annual presentation packs or sealed sets are generally more desirable due to their protected storage since the time of issue. When discussing value, it is important to be realistic, because the standard circulated 1980 50 pence coin is typically worth only its face value. However, in uncirculated condition, it can command a small premium, depending on quality, eye appeal, and whether it remains in original packaging, and market prices may range from a modest collector premium of a few pounds to slightly higher amounts for exceptional brilliant uncirculated pieces, especially those graded and certified by professional coin grading services. And while it is not considered a rare high-value coin, it remains an important part of a complete British decimal 50 pence collection. Another fascinating aspect to highlight in a long YouTube presentation is the innovative design of the 50 pence itself, because when introduced in 1969, the 7-sided shape was chosen to allow easy identification by touch while still rolling smoothly in vending machines, and this engineering achievement made the British 50 pence one of the most recognizable coins in the world, and by 1980 it had become a familiar part of daily life in the United Kingdom, representing both practicality and design excellence within modern currency systems. For viewers interested in history, the 1980 50 pence coin also reflects the social and economic climate of the United Kingdom during the late 20th century, a period marked by political change, economic challenges, and modernization, and holding this coin today connects collectors directly to that era because it circulated during a transformative time in British history, and discussing these broader themes can greatly enrich a 40-minute YouTube script by adding narrative depth beyond simple value estimation. In your video, you can compare a circulated example with an uncirculated specimen to demonstrate grading differences, explaining how mint luster appears as a cartwheel effect under light, and how the highest points, such as Britannia Shield and Queen Portrait, should show no flattening or discoloration, and this educational approach encourages viewers to examine their own coins more carefully while building knowledge about grading standards, authenticity, and long-term preservation techniques for copper nickel coins. In conclusion, the Queen Elizabeth II new 50 pence coin 1980, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is not a rare treasure worth a fortune, yet it holds significant historical, artistic, and collectible value as part of the original decimal 50 pence series, featuring the Mackin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and the classic Britannia reverse struck by the Royal Mint, and while its monetary worth may only be modestly above face value, in pristine condition its importance within British numismatic history makes it a compelling subject for an in-depth educational script that informs, inspires, and encourages viewers to subscribe for more detailed explorations into valuable and historic coins from the United Kingdom. Next up, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 1982, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is a remarkable piece of modern British decimal coinage that represents both continuity and national identity, featuring the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, whose image defined British currency for generations, and this 1982 issue belongs to the original large 7-sided 50 pence series introduced after decimalization and produced by the respected Royal Mint, and collectors appreciate this coin for its distinctive heptagonal shape, strong historical connection, and its role in everyday commerce during the early 1980s, when the 50 pence had already become one of the most recognized coins in circulation across the United Kingdom. The obverse of the 1982 50 pence coin displays the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II created by Arnold Mackin, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and this portrait was used on circulating British coins from 1968 until 1984, representing a youthful yet dignified stage of her reign, and in true uncirculated condition, the fine strands of hair, the detailed tiara, and the surrounding legend remain sharply defined with brilliant mint luster that reflects light evenly across the surface, making such pieces highly desirable for collectors who value originality and preservation. On the reverse, the coin features the seated Britannia, designed by Christopher Ironside, a powerful and traditional symbol of Britain, holding a trident with a shield at her side, representing maritime heritage, strength, and national unity. And this design connects modern decimal coinage to centuries of British numismatic tradition, and in uncirculated grade, the intricate folds of Britannia gown, the sharp edges of the shield, and the clear lettering of the denomination stand out beautifully, demonstrating the high production standards maintained by the Royal Mint during this period. The absence of a mint mark on the 1982 50 pence coin is entirely normal because circulating British coins of that era did not carry mint marks, and therefore collectors should understand that a coin without mint mark is standard rather than rare, and the true determining factors of value lie in condition, authenticity, and eye appeal, because many examples from 1982 entered heavy circulation and show scratches, contact marks, and while uncirculated pieces retain crisp edges. original sheen, and no flattening on the highest points of the design. In terms of mintage, the 1982 50 pence had a significant production volume as it was intended for everyday transactions in shops, banks, and vending machines throughout the United Kingdom. And while millions were struck, far fewer remain today in pristine, uncirculated state, especially outside official mint packaging. And this concept of condition scarcity is essential for collectors because a coin may be common in circulated grades, yet much more difficult to locate in true, uncirculated condition, with full brilliance intact. When discussing market value, it is important to provide realistic expectations because a circulated 1982 50 pence coin is generally worth face value. However, in uncirculated condition, it can achieve a modest premium depending on quality preservation and whether it comes from an official Royal Mint annual set, and prices in the collector's market may range from a small premium of a few pounds to somewhat higher amounts for exceptional, brilliant, uncirculated specimens, particularly if graded by professional services. And although it is not considered a rare or high-value coin, it remains essential for completing a date run of large pre-reduction 50 pence pieces. Another important topic for a 40-minute YouTube script is the engineering brilliance behind the seven-sided shape, because when the 50 pence was introduced in 1969, it was designed with a constant width curve, allowing it to roll smoothly in machines while still being easily identified by touch. And by 1982, this innovation had already proven successful, making the British 50 pence one of the most distinctive coins in the world and an example of practical yet creative monetary design. From a historical perspective, the 1982 50 pence circulated during a period of significant economic and political change in the United Kingdom, and holding this coin today offers a tangible connection to that era as it passed through countless hands in markets, workplaces, and households. And discussing these broader historical themes can greatly enrich your video by transforming a simple coin value discussion into a compelling narrative about society, economy, and national identity. For educational purposes, you can demonstrate grading differences by comparing a worn example to a brilliant uncirculated specimen under bright light, explaining how mint luster produces a cartwheel effect and how the highest points, such as Britannia Shield and Queen Portrait, should show no signs of wear in true uncirculated grade. And this approach encourages viewers to inspect their own collections carefully while learning how professional grading standards influence market value and collector demand. In conclusion, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 1982, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is not an extremely rare treasure worth a fortune, yet it carries substantial historical, artistic, and collectible importance as part of the original large decimal 50 pence series, featuring the Mackin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and the classic Britannia reverse, struck by the Royal Mint. And while its financial value may remain modest above face value in pristine condition, its enduring legacy within British numismatic history makes it an excellent subject for an in-depth educational presentation that informs viewers, builds collecting knowledge, and encourages subscription for more detailed explorations of valuable and historic coins from the United Kingdom. Next up, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 1983, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is an important collectible from the era of large pre-reduction decimal coinage, featuring the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, whose image became one of the most recognized symbols on currency around the world. And this 1983 issue was struck by the historic Royal Mint, which has produced British coinage for centuries, and the coin belongs to the original large seven-sided 50 pence series, first introduced in 1969 as part of the transition to decimal currency, and by 1983 it had become a familiar and trusted denomination used daily in shops, markets, transport, and businesses across the United Kingdom, representing stability and national identity during a changing economic period. The obverse of the 1983 50 pence coin displays the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Mackin, showing a youthful and elegant depiction of the monarch wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and this portrait was used on British circulating coins from 1968 until 1984, and in true uncirculated condition, the intricate hair, strands, the detailed tiara jewels, and the surrounding legend remain crisp with full brilliant mint luster across the fields, and this untouched surface quality is what collectors search for, because most examples released into circulation quickly develop marked scratches and dullness from everyday handling. On the reverse, the seated Britannia, designed by Christopher Ironside, remains one of the most iconic images in modern British numismatics, with Britannia holding a trident and resting beside a shield symbolizing maritime strength, resilience, and unity. And this design links the decimal 50 pence to centuries of British coinage tradition, and in brilliant uncirculated grade, the sharp definition of Britannia robe folds the clear edges of the shield, and the bold denomination lettering stand out dramatically under light, making such pieces especially appealing for collectors building complete date runs of the large 50 pence series. The absence of a mint mark on the 1983 50 pence coin is standard because circulating coins of that period did not include mint marks, and therefore a coin without mint mark does not represent a rare variety, but rather the normal production format of the Royal Mint, and collectors should instead focus on authenticity, weight, diameter, and surface preservation, since the large 50 pence measured approximately 30 millimeters across its points and was composed of copper nickel, giving it a silver-colored appearance and durable structure. In terms of mintage, the 1983 50 pence had a significant production volume because it was struck for widespread circulation, and although millions were produced, far fewer remain today in pristine, uncirculated condition outside official mint packaging. And this concept of condition scarcity is crucial in determining value, because while worn examples are extremely common, high-grade uncirculated specimens with full brilliance are more limited and therefore more desirable among serious collectors. When discussing value, it is important to explain realistically that a circulated 1983 50 pence coin is typically worth face value. However, an uncirculated example can command a modest premium depending on its eye appeal, luster, and whether it originates from a sealed Royal Mint annual set, and market prices often range from a few pounds to somewhat higher amounts for exceptional brilliant uncirculated pieces, especially those graded and encapsulated by professional coin grading companies. And although the coin is not rare, it plays an essential role in completing a full collection of pre-reduction large 50 pence issues. Another compelling topic for a long YouTube script is the engineering innovation of the seven-sided shape, because when the 50 pence was first introduced, it featured a constant width curve that allowed it to roll smoothly in vending machines while remaining easy to identify by touch, and by 1983 this distinctive design had already proven highly successful, making the British 50 pence one of the most recognizable coins in the world and an example of thoughtful functional artistry in currency production. From a historical perspective, the 1983 50 pence circulated during a period of economic adjustment and modernization within the United Kingdom, and holding this coin today connects collectors directly to that time when it passed through countless hands in everyday transactions. And discussing the social context of the early 1980s can add depth to your presentation, transforming a simple coin review into a broader exploration of British life, economy, and cultural continuity during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. For educational value in your video, you can demonstrate how to evaluate uncirculated condition by rotating the coin under strong light to reveal the cartwheel mint luster, and by examining high points such as Britannia knee shield and the Queen's portrait to confirm the absence of wear, and by explaining grading terminology, you help viewers better understand how condition influences collector demand and market pricing, encouraging them to examine their own coins more carefully and perhaps discover hidden gems within their collections. In conclusion, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 1983, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is not a rare treasure worth a fortune, yet it carries significant historical, artistic, and collectible importance as part of the original large decimal 50 pence series, featuring the Mackin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and the classic Britannia, reverse struck by the Royal Mint, and while its monetary value may remain modest above face value in pristine condition, its enduring place within British numismatic history makes it an excellent subject for a detailed educational script that informs viewers, builds appreciation for coin collecting, and encourages subscription for more explorations into valuable and historic coins from the United Kingdom. Next up, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 1997, without mint mark in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, represents a major transitional moment in British decimal coinage history, featuring the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, whose image defined British currency for decades. And this particular year is especially significant because 1997 marked the introduction of the smaller reduced-size 50 pence that replaced the original large version, first issued in 1969, and this important change was carried out by the respected Royal Mint as part of an effort to reduce production costs and improve convenience in everyday transactions, making the 1997 issue a key date for collectors who appreciate coins that signal transformation within a nation's monetary system. The obverse of the 1997 50 pence coin features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which was introduced in 1998 on most denominations, but the smaller 50 pence first appeared in 1997 with the third portrait by Raphael Maklauf. Depending on release timing, and collectors carefully examine which portrait appears on their specific coin, because portrait varieties are crucial in British numismatics and in true uncirculated condition. The fine facial details, the crown elements, and the surrounding legend remain sharply defined with full brilliant mint luster, reflecting light smoothly across the surface, free from wear scratches or circulation damage. On the reverse, the classic seated Britannia design, originally created by Christopher Ironside, continues to appear on the standard 1997 50 pence, symbolizing national strength, maritime heritage, and continuity. And in uncirculated grade, the intricate folds of Britannia, robed, the sharp trident lines, and the bold denomination inscription stand out beautifully, especially when viewed under proper lighting, and this combination of historic imagery and modern size reduction makes the 1997 50 pence particularly appealing to collectors building complete type sets of both large and small format coins. The absence of a mint mark on the 1997 50 pence coin is normal for circulating United Kingdom issues of that period, because the Royal Mint did not apply mint marks to standard circulation strikes, and therefore a coin without mint mark should not be mistaken for a rare variety, and instead authenticity, weight, diameter, and condition should be examined carefully, since the smaller 1997 50 pence measures approximately 27.3 millimeters across and has a distinctive 7-sided constant width shape composed of copper or nickel, giving it durability and a bright silver appearance. In terms of mintage, the 1997 small 50 pence had a very high production because millions were required to replace the earlier large coins in circulation, and as a result circulated examples are extremely common today. However, true uncirculated pieces that retain original mint brilliance without contact marks are less frequently encountered outside official mint sets, and this concept of condition scarcity plays a major role in determining collectible value, because even common coins become more desirable when preserved in pristine state. When discussing market value, it is important to provide realistic expectations, because a circulated 1997 50 pence is generally worth only its face value. However, in uncirculated condition, it may command a modest premium, especially if preserved in Royal Mint annual packaging or graded by a professional service. And while it is not a rare or highly valuable coin, it holds strong importance as the first year of the reduced size design, which adds historical significance that collectors appreciate. When assembling a chronological collection of British decimal 50 pence coins, another compelling theme for 40-minute YouTube script is the engineering innovation behind the constant width 7-sided shape, which allows the coin to roll smoothly in vending machines while remaining easily identifiable by touch. And the size reduction in 1997 reflects advancements in minting efficiency, economic practicality, and the evolving needs of modern commerce. and discussing this technological achievement can enrich your presentation by demonstrating how even small changes in coin dimensions reflect broader economic strategies. From a historical perspective, the 1997 50 pence circulated during a year of notable change within the United Kingdom, including political transition and evolving cultural identity, and holding this coin today connects collectors to that specific moment in time when the nation embraced a more compact coinage format, and discussing the wider context of 1997 adds narrative depth that transforms a simple value discussion into a broader exploration of British history during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. For educational value in your video, you can compare a large pre-1997 50 pence with the new smaller version to visually demonstrate the reduction in size, explaining how collectors categorize coins by type and year, and by rotating the uncirculated specimen under bright light, you can show the cartwheel luster effect that indicates originality, while highlighting the absence of wear on Britannia and the Queen's portrait, which helps viewers understand grading standards and the importance of proper storage. In conclusion, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 1997, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is not an extremely rare treasure worth a fortune, yet it carries major historical and collectible significance as the first year of the smaller modern 50 pence format, featuring the enduring Britannia reverse and royal portrait struck by the Royal Mint, and while its monetary value may remain modest above face value, in pristine grade its role in marking a key transition within British decimal coinage makes it an outstanding subject for a detailed educational presentation that informs viewers, deepens appreciation for coin collecting, and encourages subscription for more explorations into historic and valuable coins from the United Kingdom. Next up, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 2001, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is a fascinating modern decimal issue that reflects both continuity and change within British coinage, featuring the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, whose effigy appeared on circulating currency for decades, and whose reign witnessed multiple redesigns of national coinage, and this particular 2001 50 pence was struck by the historic Royal Mint, which is responsible for producing coins for the United Kingdom and many other nations, and by the year 2001, the smaller reduced size 50 pence, first introduced in 1997, had already become standard in everyday transactions across the country, representing efficiency, practicality, and modern minting standards. The obverse of the 2001 50 pence coin features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, showing a more mature depiction of the monarch, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and this portrait was introduced in 1998 and remained in use until 2015, and in true uncirculated condition, the fine details of the Queen's profile, the tiara elements, and the surrounding inscription remain crisp and sharply struck with full, brilliant mint luster across the fields, and this pristine state is highly desirable because most examples released into circulation quickly developed small marks, contact scratches, and surface dullness from everyday handling. On the reverse, the standard seated Britannia design, originally created by Christopher Ironside, continues to appear, symbolizing national identity, maritime strength, and historical continuity, with Britannia holding a trident and resting beside a shield, and in brilliant uncirculated grade, the flowing lines of the gown, the sharp trident points, and the clear denomination lettering stand out dramatically when viewed under proper lighting, and this timeless image connects the modern 2001 issue to centuries of British numismatic tradition. The absence of a mint mark on the 2001 50 pence coin is completely normal for circulating United Kingdom issues of that era, because the Royal Mint did not apply mint marks to standard circulation coins, and therefore collectors should not assume rarity based solely on the lack of a mint mark, and instead should focus on verifying authenticity by checking the distinctive 7-sided constant, which shaped the correct weight composition of copper or nickel, and the precise diameter of approximately 27.3 millimeters, which defined the smaller post-1997 specification. In terms of mintage, the 2001 50 pence had a very high production volume as millions were struck to meet everyday demand in shops, transport systems, and vending machines, and because of this, circulated examples are extremely common today. However, coins preserved in true uncirculated condition, especially those taken directly from royal mint annual sets, are less frequently encountered, and this idea of condition scarcity is crucial because while the coin is common in worn grades, it becomes more collectible when full original luster remains intact without evidence of wear. When discussing value, it is important to provide clear and realistic expectations because a circulated 2001 50 pence is generally worth only its face value. However, an uncirculated example may command a modest premium depending on eye appeal and preservation quality, and coins retained in official royal mint packaging or graded by professional services can sometimes achieve slightly higher prices, and although it is not considered rare or highly valuable, it remains an essential part of a complete day collection of modern small format 50 pence coins. Another engaging element for a 40-minute YouTube script is the engineering innovation behind the constant width 7-sided design, which allows the coin to roll smoothly while still being easily recognized by touch, and this practical yet creative shape has become iconic in British currency design, and by 2001, it was already well established as one of the most distinctive circulating coins in the world, demonstrating how thoughtful engineering can enhance everyday usability. From a historical perspective, the 2001 50 pence circulated during the early years of the new millennium, a time characterized by technological growth, globalization, and modernization within the United Kingdom, and holding this coin today connects collectors to that moment in history when digital technology was expanding and society was entering a new century, and discussing this broader context can transform a simple coin value review into a richer narrative about cultural and economic change during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. For educational purposes in your video, you can demonstrate grading by rotating the coin under bright light to reveal the cartwheel mint luster effect, and by examining high points such as Britannia Shield and the Queen's profile to confirm the absence of wear, explaining how even minor friction can reduce a coin from uncirculated to about uncirculated grade, and this instructional approach adds value for viewers who may wish to evaluate their own collections more accurately. In conclusion, the Queen Elizabeth II 50 pence coin 2001, without mint mark, in uncirculated condition, from the United Kingdom, is not a rare treasure worth a fortune, yet it holds meaningful historical, artistic, and collectible significance as part of the modern small format 50 pence series, featuring the broadly portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and the enduring Britannia reverse struck by the Royal Mint, and while its monetary value may remain only modestly above face value in pristine grade, its place within the evolving story of British decimal coinage makes it an excellent subject for a detailed educational presentation that informs viewers, deepens appreciation for coin collecting, and encourages subscription for more explorations into historic and valuable coins from the United Kingdom. Thanks for watching.